It's unfinished, but the SnowRunner Phase 2 Yukon DLC on the public test server gives us an idea of what to expect when the release date arrives. Here are 10 of the best bits of the Canada maps. Curious about Canada? You've come to the right place, as I'm going to list what I like in the new Yukon region, which is coming to SnowRunner in Phase 2. Still no word on the release date, but hopefully by the end of October or early November 2020. The Phase 2 DLC, known as Explore and Expand, and available to those with the Season Pass, is playable on the public test server and has been updated more than once, indicating progress is being made. Let's not muck about. You're here for a look at Yukon in action, and hopefully this video delivers. If not, time refunds are sadly unavailable. But before that, let me introduce you to a new sponsor quickly. It's called boostgaming.com, and it's a website where you can buy all your digital currencies and subscriptions from Sony, Microsoft, Apple, Riot, Roblox, Netflix, Spotify, and more. Everything sold on Boost Gaming comes directly from the source, so you don't have to worry about getting a fake or illegal code that either doesn't work or could get you banned. Plus, with all different providers in one place, it's convenient, and I get a small percent if you use the link in the description, helping me make more videos. Currently, it's UK and US only, but Eastern Europe, Asia, and Australia are coming before the end of 2020. Okay, top 10 time. Emandra gets a lot of hate because of the deep snow that kills your speed, and the boulders that can ground even the Azov 64131. Canada has deep snow and mud, so you can expect slow moments, but more pleasing progress is rarely far away, and that's the important thing. Not only that, boulders and stones and other debris is present, but it's a more manageable size and therefore considerably less tedious to get around. Unlike previous maps with largely similar terrain, the Canadian Yukon region is a mixture. Atop hills and mountains you'll find snow with rocky outcrops, man-made hills, pristine tarmac, beautiful forests, industrial buildings, and mud in between. This variation makes it harder to get as jaded when exploring and adds a whole lot of personality to the maps, which for a game that's been here since April is a good thing. As my mum loves to point out, you can drown in an inch of water. Maybe it was a threat, not advice. Anyway, the point is that hydrogen dioxide is good for your lungs, but in the Phase 2 Canada Yukon region, it's bad for your truck. Rivers can and will push you downstream, if you hadn't already become an expensive paperweight at the bottom, meaning some panic-inducing moments as you try to cross. Even still water is a problem, as there are many river crossings, and many are deep enough to require tuned custom suspension, unless you want a stalled engine. Emandra and Lake Cove were particularly flat. Phase 2's Yukon region marks a return to Michigan and Alaska ups and downs, with some areas feeling especially remote because of the need to climb perilously steep roads. I'd say road, what I really mean is mud with some lines drawn in. A few people have commented before that they enjoy thin rocky pathways, and Canada has these too, so those who like the risk of falling over a cliff or down the side of a mountain will not be disappointed. It's not just Yukon scenery that makes it enjoyable. I like where things are and the layout. You really do need to plan where to cross a river or sneak up a mountain, and it's not always obvious. However, finding out as you go is enjoyable. The man-made pipes in some areas can be a pain, but then SnowRunner's physics let me bounce off a pebble to launch the ANK MK38's Tiger tires in the air and then winch over, saving a lot of time going round. I'm sure there will be a lot of nifty shortcuts. 35,000 of you have watched my How to Unlock the Garage in Emandra video because, let's face it, many of us found it a living nightmare. I'd say it's the most frustrating task SnowRunner has ever seen, and hopefully ever will. Both of Canada's maps have a garage, and getting into Big Salmon Peak, though not the easiest thing, will not cause you to lose the will to live. Expect a guide, as I have some sneaky tips. Once there, the garage is currently a very short drive from one of the two entrances. Bless. Not only do you have two safe havens, both have a trailer store nearby. In fact, these Canada garages have a Michigan vibe about them, and I like that. Having to spend hours getting a trailer in Emandra may have been hardcore, but it was never a recipe for fun. There seems to be an endless supply of resources in SnowRunner, which is funny because the entire game, though uninhabited, relies on deliveries. However, in Yukon, there are times when you only get so many things to move about, so be careful. If you actually manage to be careful and deliver enough things as part of the tasks, you have an impact on the world, albeit a smallish one. This is something I've always enjoyed in SnowRunner, and I'd love to see it more. And number 10, I know mods have been a contentious issue, and the arrival of the Chevrolet Apache, and likely the Western Star 49X outside of the Season Pass, have annoyed a lot of players. I can understand why. So I like that Canada refreshes my excitement for the game and shows that the developers are managing to keep things fresh. Because remember that some games provide double digits of entertainment hours at best. SnowRunner? I dread to think. And that's it for this video. Be sure to subscribe, like, check out my lovely merch, and if you want to buy any digital currencies and subscriptions, you could do it via boostgaming.com, as it genuinely helps me make more videos for you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.